From the enigmatic tree dwellers of the forest, our evolutionary journey has reached a new and decisive turning point. We have moved forward in time, and the climate itself has begun to change. The dense, wet woodlands are shrinking, forcing our ancestors to venture into a more exposed and challenging world. Here, amidst this changing landscape, some 3.5 million years ago, a creature lived that made a full and lasting commitment to a new way of life. A life on two legs. This is the story of the first walkers in Africa, the species known as Australopithecus afarensis. This is Ancient Africa Chronicles, a voyage back in time to uncover stories from the cradle of humankind. If you are captivated by these glimpses into our deep past, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing for more explorations into Africa's extraordinary history. In this episode, we will focus on the most iconic hominin ever discovered, a fossil that provided undeniable proof of our ancestors' bipedal past. We are, of course, talking about Lucy. The year was 1974. A team of paleoanthropologists led by Donald Johanson and Tom Gray were working in the arid plains of Hadar when they made a find that would redefine our understanding of human origins. They unearthed a collection of hominin bones, a mere 40% of a skeleton, yet one of the most complete specimens ever found. As the team celebrated their discovery back at camp, the Beatles' song "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds" played on a tape recorder, and the name stuck. Lucy's became a household name, but her true importance lies not in her fame, but in the story written in her bones. For the first time, we had a fossil that showed definitively that our ancestors were walking upright long before their brains began to grow in size. Lucy's brain was tiny, no larger than that of a modern chimpanzee, yet her body was built for a life on two legs. The key to Lucy's story lies in her pelvis and her legs. Unlike the transitional dual-purpose pelvis of Ardipithecus, Lucy's pelvis was broad and bowl-shaped like our own. It was a structure perfectly designed to support the internal organs and to allow the muscles to swing the leg forward in a human stride. Her femur, the thigh bone, was angled inward from the hip to the knee, a feature known as the bicondylar angle. This angle allowed her to place her feet directly beneath the center of her gravity, making each step more efficient and stable. It is the anatomical signature of a habitual biped. As if to provide a final, indisputable piece of evidence, a separate discovery in Tanzania gave us a direct, visceral connection to these early walkers. Some 3.6 million years ago, a volcano erupted near a place called Laetoli. Its ash covered the ground, and as it hardened, it preserved the footprints of 3 individuals walking across the landscape. The strides, the heel strikes, and the aligned toes are all unmistakably human-like. These footprints are attributed to Australopithecus afarensis, and they stand as a breathtaking fossilized record of our ancestors taking their first confident steps across the face of Africa. The world Lucy inhabited was a challenging one. The expanding savannas meant more time on the ground and greater exposure to predators. Living in cohesive social groups would have been essential for survival. Their daily life would have been a tireless search for food, a diet of fruits, roots, tubers, and perhaps even some scavenged meat. The thick enamel on their molars suggests they were adept at grinding tougher, fibrous plant materials that were increasingly available in their new environment. And yet, despite their commitment to bipedalism, the story of Australopithecus is not a simple one. The mosaic evolution we saw in Ardipithecus was still at play. While built for walking, Lucy still possessed long arms and slightly curved fingers, adaptations that would have made her a proficient climber. It's likely that they still used trees for refuge, to escape predators, or to sleep safely at night. This highlights the gradual nature of evolution, where old adaptations linger even as new ones take hold. Lucy and her kind Australopithecus afarensis were an incredibly successful and long-lived species, surviving for nearly 1 million years across vast swathes of eastern Africa. They were a diverse and adaptable group, and it is from this lineage that we see the first major branching of the human family tree. One branch led to the robust, thick-skulled hominins like Sahelanthropus, who specialized in a diet of tough plant matter. But another, more slender branch, the one that continued to live in the changing mosaic of landscapes and rely on a more varied diet, is the most likely candidate for the lineage that would eventually give rise to our own genus, Homo. Australopithecus stands as the critical transition between our more ape-like ancestors and the humans that would eventually conquer the globe. 3.5 million years. The immense scale of time is almost impossible to comprehend, but a single skeleton, lovingly pieced together and known to the world as Lucy, provides a tangible link to that distant past. She is a profound reminder that the most revolutionary change in our history was not the growth of our brains or the invention of tools. It was the simple, elegant act of standing upright. The first walkers in Africa paved the way for every subsequent journey, and it is through their story that we understand the foundations of our own. Their journey on 2 feet began here, and it is a journey that, in a sense, we are still on today.